had LAN, and it was at DreamHack Summer, I believe, 2019, was when like Neeze and I think Polyshot and like 2 other players, I think Glassy was there as well, under a different name. I believe it was like Joel U Vegas back then. I can't quite remember the name before that. But that was when we saw the people like Neeze and Polyshot break out on LAN, even Fozey on LAN as well. So we have sort of this group of individuals that all had their heyday, except for Sarme. It seems like his might be starting soon. That's at least what I'm predicting.
I feel like the breakout has been building up. We've seen pretty much from Autumn's up to this point, in doubles in particular, Sarme just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And that is so crucial to have in your back pocket. You're just cruising through all these tournaments. You feel that momentum burning. You're starting to play even better as you go along. This team lineup here with Fozey, you have that consistent combo damage again. We're seeing that spear play. We see Fozey can definitely line it up. Problem is, though, you have extreme KO power on the side of the Ninja729, always piloting the cannon, always having to worry about that surprise burst factor. I think it's going to be on Neeze to just support Ninja729 enough to line up those KOs to shut down this rushdown gameplay. Speaking of going all the way off stage to go for a very deep ground pound, you absolutely cannot escape from me, but is immediately answered back there from Neeze.
Now Neeze is the only one on first stock here, and we see a lot of character variation coming out. We see a Val pick, we see a Wushang pick, we see a Mordex pick, we see that scary, scary Orc. You never want to get hit by those signatures on that very high force character with very KO potential weapons coming out. But we have 4 different characters on the screen. That's a very kind of rare occurrence.
Yeah, and I love seeing it. You love seeing the character variations, because that's what happens in twos. You get different lineups of things that you like to go for, but you do get the same type of play that you're normally used to seeing on Ninja. Pavelski wants it so bad. Excuse me, not Pavelski, different Val. Sarme wants it so bad, and it almost had it lined up too, but because Neeze noticed that and went down there, you had to back off, because if you use that last resource, you were done.
A lot of chaos going on in the middle of the stage. Fozey sort of backed up for a minute. Then once he got into the fray, into the fold, he was almost taken off the top. And now Sarme taking off the top. Fozey might be right behind him, and he is 4 stocks to 2. Red team wearing the color of their shirt on their health bar as well. All of them are red. There's 1 KO courtesy of Sarme. Second one might be coming soon. Gonna set up the edge guard. No. Neeze is actually gonna get back onto the platform.
Yeah, just barely getting through, just avoiding the ground pound as well. Recovery not going to be enough off the top. Sarah should take it out at this point too, so that's why you see Neeze kind of hovering around the left side, allowing the Ninja to come through and get so much free damage because they focus on him. Now Sarme has gone deep into the red with so much attention lined up to the other side. They do finally take out Neeze, but they took a lot of damage in the process.
We'll see if Sarme can keep this going and not be taken out first in this game. He is the most damaged of anybody on the screen. Fozey's not too far behind him. That means if Sarme's taken out, or really if Fozey is taken out, which in this case is what happens, this is a very difficult 1v2 for Sarme to play. It's not going to take much. Does get 1 KO all the way from that side of the stage. Unbelievable. I would never have bet on that.
That was so good too, because going for the option and then backing off, not trying to overcommit, because you saw that Neeze was hovering right above to try and go in. Now Neeze just trying to get to a weapon switch.
Do this?
Oh, almost catching him. This is extremely close between the two. Both of them deep in the red. This is one mistake away from either player, and that's going to be it. D-Light finds the connection. Neeze stops the bleeding, but Sarme, this is why we have been talking about Sarme so much. This is just such good mentality and composure in a situation like that, because when you have 2 strong KO power, KO potentials like Mordex and Zol just staring you down, it's easy to try and panic. It's easy to overextend to try and look for that KO because you don't want to deal with that 2v1. Not only did Sarme find it, but backed off and made sure it was safe. Didn't end up getting the full deal, but it still looked really good.
Now, talking about full deals that players did not get, man, Fozey, that was a rough game for Mr. Fozey coming out here. 264 damage dealt. That is not a good number for 2v2. He also took 586. Now, the tankiest character in the game is certainly not a Wushang pick, but still he has substantial defense, so he shouldn't be going down that early. Compare that to Sarme, 639 damage dealt, also took 667, so almost took 100 additional damage than his teammate did. So Fozey, hoping he can find something different, comes out with the Orion pick here to completely change their team comp up.
Yeah, and you want to find maybe some more consistency in your combos. You have the spear still, but you have the lance. However, I also kind of helps with the recovery mix-ups because I feel like Fozey was getting pressured really hard, so being able to actually charge recovery, hold off a little bit, let Sarme come out there and try and help you might help. But the red team's communication has been so on point. Let's see if it comes through. Trying to go for a ground pound. Neeze with an amazing recovery on the left side to avoid getting KO'd.
You see both members of the blue team turning their sights onto Neeze, hoping to take him off the top. Ninja comes in, splits up the blue team a little bit. Now Fozey going in unarmed. Does have to be a little bit careful. He's at weapon disadvantage, and he's extremely damaged, and he's fighting a Zol who has all that force.
Yeah, and the Ninja is just basically saying, don't jump. He keeps throwing out all these things to try and catch him, but there goes Neeze, gonna line up the KO, and that took a while where everybody was very unhealthy right now. We finally see one go. We're gonna see a second one go on the side of the Ninja729.
Chance for the 2v1 here. They don't try and pressure it too much to get that stock off of Neeze when they have the power play. Okay, Fozey coming out with some good damage there. Nice solid lance string coming out. Sarme comes in, ends up grabbing both members of the red team, is taken out, but immediately answered as Neeze also falls off of the first stock. Everybody's pretty even except Ninja729. He's getting a little bit closer to orange than everyone else, but not too far behind whatsoever.
It's something I'm seeing out of Fozey a lot here in the second game is a lot more revenge damage. Anytime something happens to Sarme, he's getting the hits where he needs them. That's something that the red team has always been capitalizing on. Because whenever Neeze is getting pressured at all, the Ninja sees a free opportunity to throw out those massive signatures and just freely take hits. It's been working so consistently. Right now, Neeze trying to catch Fozey, slipping a little bit on the left-hand side, goes for a Sarre, trying to go deep, but had no resources going for that. Could believe so hard in it, and that's enormous.
Hurting. That's really going to hurt their team, especially because Ninja fell right after that. That was certainly an early KO that Neeze fell into that blast zone for. That's tough, because looking at Sarme, man, he's healthy, he's outputting damage. I believe he's found a couple KOs at this point, so Sarme's stepping up, and Fozey certainly stepping up as well, but I would definitely say he's not the star of the show, but he's also not the weakest link in this chain.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's no longer the weakest link here at this time compared to the first game, we're seeing way more connections off of Lance, actually challenging people with Sarre and separating the two, which is allowing them to get those 2v1s. Unfortunately, miscommunication, though, is going to come through and not only lead to one, but it's going to lead to a close-up. That was so important, because now all of a sudden, what looked like it could have been a 1v1 off of that, it's now back to a potential 2-0.
That side air team damage that came out from Sarme onto Fozey, that put the blue team in a really tough spot, and the red team immediately capitalized on it. They recognized the situation, found out what they needed to do to get the maximum value out of it.
I think the biggest thing right now is Fozey's got to step up. If you want to make sure you stop that, I say Fozey just continues to play like so, catching the sig, going for the high weapon toss, forcing the high recovery, looking for the follow-up, and they get it. But do they get the close out? Yes, they do. And now Neeze is stuck up against the wall here, Sparky.
We'll see if he can make his way back onto the stage. He does, but he's going to eat a blast. The neutral sig from Fozey's Lance. Much different game. 500 damage from Sarve. Good number. He actually didn't pick up any KOs. That is all of the KOs going the way of Fozey. Also the majority of the damage going the way of Fozey as well. So once we saw Fozey step up, that's the key ingredient that we needed. That is a blue team victory. Sarme still playing fantastic.
Absolutely amazing job changing up that game. Talk about needing to step up. I didn't even realize those first KOs were all going to the side of Fozey.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Just the confirms they were able to line up, and most of the time, a lot of them came off of Sarme lining up a perfect read into a sig to close it out. But the late game, after that double KO with the accidental mispositioning off stage, that's an easy way to derail some momentum, and Fozey didn't let that happen. And now we're getting to a very close game number 3.
It's tied 1-1 in this best-of-5 set. We're seeing Fozey stick with this Orion character. No swaps coming out from the red team. Neeze getting bullied so early, even by his own teammate. The weapon came in, Ninja grabbed it, threw out a neutral light, hit Neeze back into the blue team.
Look, Cannon players are about one thing. Now, if you happen to be in the way, that's on you, whether it's the teammate or not. They want to get that big play. As we're seeing him go for right now, trying to go for the ground pound, trying to go for any type of early stock. Just does get the dodge. That's so important, because now they can go and double up on Sarme.
Ninja completely disengaged from that situation. Didn't even touch the main platform and then go back in. He went all the way to the left side, trying to get away from those edge guard situations as quickly as he could. Everybody is extremely red right now, except Fozey's kind of sitting on that orange-red border, so I don't think he's super in danger of being taken out by any just standard option like a D-Light Nair if we're talking about Cannon coming out here whatsoever.
Oh, wow, Fozey.
Oh, he wanted to go in.
Fozey wants it all, and unfortunately he's going to end up giving one up, but that was really solid job. Actually, never mind, I didn't realize the Ninja went down in the midst of that, too.
Was worth.
That's a we take those
That
moment.
was worth. He was already extremely damaged, so it's likely he was going to be taken out soon. There were both members of the red team over there hoping for some chaos. That's what Fozey wanted to do.
And Neeze going a little bit too deep. It looked like they were looking for a double up on Fozey, and they were just out of position. But there's that big play. Does Ninja close it out? And Fozey can't get in the way. Goes for the recovery to try and interrupt Neeze, but Neeze just gets around it and seals the deal.
What a great follow-up from Neeze to secure that KO after the string that the Ninja hit, taking blue team member all the way to the right side. That was like, that's Ninja praying for the heyday of Cannon.
Ninja is going off, and that's exactly what you need to see right now. If you want to just, with the Ninja up with the 2 stocks and Neeze having to play more on defense, the Ninja has to be the one to play on this offense, like the way that he is right now. Weapon toss up is always a consistent factor out of Ninja. You can't get a free recovery on him ever, but you see that the blue team is trying so hard to separate him so they can get this 2v1. It's a lot harder than it looks so far.
Neeze is actually doing a really great job of 1v1ing Fozey before his teammate just got taken out, put onto his final stock. He was handling Fozey, completely mixing him up, putting a lot of damage on without taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately, he was so damaged in the process. He kind of started those initiations already super behind. He tried to do what he could. Eventually, he got taken out. 3 stocks to 1. This is a very tall order for the Ninja.
Yeah, there's so many options that just get covered between the speed of Sarme and the accessibility of the range that you have with Fozey as he tries to catch a dodge
what was
down.
That D-Light? What was that GCT light, Fozey? Come on, man.
Hey, he's up for stock. He's got a stock to play with,
yeah,
right? But
what do you think you're doing?
At the same time, Sarme's over there deep in the red, struggling, trying to just get the wall touch, getting away from all of that because the Ninja can definitely make a comeback here. If you get rid of Sarme and you just get one hit, all of a sudden you're in a doable game.
That was a beautiful down air into the wall and then a side air to pick up off the bounce that came out from Fozey's lance. Oh, he went for the signature option. Didn't get it out in time before getting hit. Oh, I'm surprised he still had stuff left. We didn't see the sweat beads come out until the final recovery that he did to get back to the wall. It is going to be another victory for Fozey and Sarme. Fozey needed that one game where he was dog water damage coming out at 264. Now he's putting out 631. Didn't get every single KO, but still picked up 4.
Yeah, this Orion switch is absolutely the play. Maybe it was a mental thing, but most of it's coming from the lance. Like, we saw some solid spear play before, but the lance is constantly connecting. He's constantly calling out jumps. He's constantly there in the way of when somebody tries to go for 2v1 on Sarme. But I think the most impressive thing is he's not getting 2v1'd off stage. Because that first game, he was getting 2v1'd, and then they just went ahead and just jumped the Val. Because you want the Val not to be chasing you down like that. These follow-up games, they can't. They literally can't get the 2v1s off stage that they've been looking for. How are you feeling about this switch up here to over to Apocalypse to try and get maybe something to work for him?
This is an interesting choice because it is a reasonably small stage with smaller walls, and the edge guard situations were really going towards the blue team. We saw early on Sarme's incredible edge guards on the left side and the right side in that game 1. Then we saw Fozey start to step it up. We saw it specifically towards the end of last game with the lance dare into the wall, turn around, hit the side air off of the bounce for the KO. So the edge game is definitely going to the blue team. We'll see if that changes here. And I mean, if you're the red team, it has to change here. Starting it off a really nice way, 1 for 1. Really even, except look, Fozey is not taking damage, picks up the KO. Fozey has completely turned this around.
I need to see the percentage based off of how many signatures he's been landing over these last few games, because Fozey has been so accurate. And not only did they go for the 1v1, that could have easily led to just a 3-stock to 2-stock apiece on each side, but Fozey did not let up on the edge guard. Now we're seeing Sarme just trying to hover away. Fozey chilling down, making sure he keeps him safe.
He even, like, guided himself out of that recovery so he didn't get the dump of force that happens on the end. Just a little bit of damage on the front side, which Fozey can take right now. He's still in the orange. on his first stock. Nice D-light. It's going to slide him off the wall. Actually kind of gets him away from any immediate follow-up.
Yeah, also something I just now noticed is this, like the pressure that the Ninja has been putting on with the axe in this game so far by comparison to the cannon. Because in the previous games, it's all been cannon. But it looks like he's hovering around a lot more.
Wow.
Not in that moment, getting caught once again off stage. And there's another signature coming through from Fozey. So all this early attempt from pressure from the Ninja actually getting shut down pretty heavy.
So we look at the first game, which put Sarme into the 1v2 situation. That was a really tough spot for him to be in. Played it very well. All of a sudden now, if you look at last game, Fozey was the only player that had 2 stocks left by the end of it. Now you see he's the only player who has 2 stocks right now. He's in the yellow. He's been finding KOs. You saw the banner at the top. He was dominating, which means first stock was 3 KOs without being knocked out himself.
A good defense from Sarme, and after going for the edge guard, not getting reversed, you saw Neeze was down there looking for just any nair to snipe the jump after going a little bit too far. The Ninja looking to hopefully cover, but the weapon toss up. Oh my god, there's so much chaos on the left-hand side, but Fozey does get in the center and tried to catch, I think, the Ninja dodging in with that recovery. Didn't get it, but Fozey now losing a stock, 1 stock apiece across the board.
That was a little bit of a tough spot for Fozey to be in. There were just so many things thrown at him at that moment, literally thrown from, including a weapon toss, but also moves, a little bit of team damage that put him over there. It was just like being poked every single second or so, and eventually he fell.
And another sig coming through from Fozey, once again catching the jump up. The side play, oh, not in place, not in the perfect position to be able to close that out is Sarme, so Neeze gets to hold on just a little bit longer.
He's done after that one.
Done.
He's
absolutely not making
done
that back
after that one. 736 damage from Fozey. 5 KOs. Once Fozey steps up, man, he's there. That's why I put him in my top 3.
This is exactly what we were hoping to see, because Sarme has been proving that Sarme is here to stay for a little bit of time now. But Fozey is the one you've been looking to at, okay, how...